Welcome back. This explainer is proudly brought to you by Forge College. Today, we're diving into implementing a lending integration with an SDK. We're literally strapping on our hard hats and translating abstract DeFi blueprints into a fully functional automated machine. If you've ever wondered how the massive protocols actually move tokens around seamlessly under the hood, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get our hands dirty. Okay, quick look at the schematic for today. We're going from blueprint to code, grabbing our developer toolkit, wiring up the deposit and borrow flows, and finally, troubleshooting and testing the whole engine. Section 1. From blueprint to code, translating CPI plans. We are making a big jump here from our previous lesson on multi-sig wallet contracts straight into the mechanical reality of cross-program invocations. So, what exactly is a CPI? Think of it like hiring a highly specialized on-chain subcontractor. Look, if you're building a house, you don't pour the foundation, route the plumbing, and wire the electricity all by yourself, right? You call an expert. A CPI is just your smart contract tapping a lending protocol on the shoulder and safely delegating a very specific job, like locking up collateral, on behalf of your application. The real question is how we actually pull this off. We're taking all those core concepts from our multi-sig work, things like delegating signer authority via program-derived addresses or PDAs, ensuring safe token transfers, and keeping our instructions tightly bundled so they either completely succeed or completely fail together. We're taking that whole shebang and assembling it into executable TypeScript code to build a rock-solid SDK module. Moving to Section 2, the developer toolkit, preparing our workbench. Before we start blindly assembling gears, we need to gather our raw materials. You're going to need a few essential configuration keys to initialize your SDK client and wire this machine up to the Solana network. You need your RPC URL so the SDK actually knows where to submit the transaction. You need your wallet key pair path so it knows who's signing the checks. And you need the program ID, which is basically the exact address of that specialist subcontractor we just talked about. All right, Section 3, wiring the deposit flow, building the first gear. Time to get to work and assemble the first major component of our engine. Here's the assembly manual. These 4 steps are the exact mechanical sequence you need to move user tokens into the lending program and mint a yield-bearing receipt token in return. You initialize the client, check the accounts, build the instruction, and hit send. Sounds super simple, right? Well, the actual magic happens in steps 2 and 3. Crucially, we absolutely have to programmatically check that the user has a valid token account first using a command like ensure token account. Honestly, it's like checking if the pipe is actually attached before turning on a fire hydrant. If you skip this step, your machine jams up and throws an error before the gears even have a chance to turn. Once that account is verified, we build the instruction. The SDK acts as your internal wiring here. Calling client.instructions.deposit maps our high-level CPI plan, basically our intention to deposit some tokens, into the highly specific, low-level serialized instructions that the blockchain strictly requires. It just beautifully abstracts away all that headache of account ordering and byte serialization. Which brings us to Section 4, assembling the borrow flow, adding the second gear. With our deposit gear spinning nicely, we can essentially throw this whole machine into reverse to build out the borrow flow. Borrowing follows a really similar mechanical pattern. You verify your collateral, construct the borrow instruction, rigorously reference your reserve accounts and PDA authorities, and then execute. And just a quick side note, mastering this reusable modular SDK pattern isn't just for lending. It is the absolute foundational skill you need to scale any sophisticated DeFi application across the Solana ecosystem. Section 5, troubleshooting the machine. What to do when the gears grind. Let's be real. Every inventor faces a sputtering engine at some point. Let's diagnose the most common integration errors you're going to run into. If your transaction fails, take a breath. Don't panic. It is practically a developer rite of passage that you either forgot a permanent security deposit, assigned the wrong owner to an account, slightly misaligned your PDA seeds, or just completely forgot to include a required signer. Let's zoom in on that first one for a second. Rent exemption, this concept trips up a ton of builders. Remember, rent exemption is simply paying the blockchain landlord a security deposit up front. You've got to lock up a tiny bit of SOL to cover the storage space of your data. If you don't, your hard-earned token account gets unceremoniously evicted from the network. So how do we fix these things when they inevitably blow up? When in doubt, turn on verbose logging. It's the equivalent of popping the hood and shining a flashlight into the engine block to see exactly which gear, seed, or account meta is slipping. The RPC errors will usually tell you exactly what went wrong, as long as you know how to read the logs. And now for the fun part,
Section 6. Testing your engine. Firing it up. Time to test our machine against a local validator or the Devnet and actually verify the outcomes.
We definitely don't just guess if it worked, we prove it programmatically. A successful deposit is proven by asserting that your pre-deposit base token balance definitively dropped while your post-deposit receipt token balance appropriately increased. It's just basic physics applied to digital assets.
For the borrow flow, use the exact same logic. You should programmatically verify that your collateral state is successfully marked as locked by the program, while the newly borrowed assets are routed safely and directly to your wallet. You check the before, you check the after, and you ensure the math is absolutely perfect.
So why does all this mechanical precision matter? Because this exact formula is the master blueprint. Design equals your account graph plus your instruction graph. Implementation is mapping that straight to SDK calls, account creation, and signer orchestration. This isn't just theory, guys. This is the exact architecture the largest DeFi protocols use to automate billions of dollars in yield every single day, totally without human intervention. All right, let's review our hard work today. We successfully mapped our CPIs to the SDK, we handled our token accounts and rent landlords properly, and we rigorously verified our token movements with strict pre- and post-transaction balances. We took that abstract blueprint and we made the engine hum.
But before I let you go, I want to leave you with a thought. Now that your basic engine is running and the gears are spinning flawlessly, the most critical question becomes this: how do you protect this perfectly automated machine against the chaotic, sometimes hostile elements of the open blockchain? We'll explore exactly how to do that in our next explainer on modular design and security practices. Until then, make sure you head over to forge.college to dive deeper into this subject, review these integration patterns, and continue your Web3 journey. Thanks for building with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.